Everybody, this is Peter Charkalis with the Artisan Spotlight Series. It's a pleasure to be with you. I'm in Melbourne. Am I pronouncing that right?
Yeah, Melbourne.
Melbourne.
Yep.
Melbourne, Australia. And I'm with Anthony Macri of Shaver Heaven. So Anthony, really great to see you again.
Yes, you too.
So I was last here 6 months ago. We went out to dinner.
Yes.
And it was great. It was the first time that we met. It was really great meeting you. Doesn't it seem like yesterday?
Yeah,
though?
it does.
It really does.
Yeah.
You went to that Italian area,
Yes,
right?
Yes.
6 months ago. But anyway, great to see you.
You too.
And we have some soaps here.
Yes.
So,
definitely.
you know, before we actually start talking about the soaps, I wanted to I'm really fascinated about your business and about because you came out of like nowhere. I don't think a year ago, maybe?
Yeah.
Never even heard of Shaver Heaven soaps. So when did you start, and how did you get started into this business?
Okay, it's kind of long-winded, but I'll try and cut it down. So I caught the wet shaving bug like everyone does. Bought a cheap kit off eBay. Came with the Shavette and I think some Arco soap. And I thought it was amazing. So I started with the Shavette, then started with the DE. And then I started discovering that there was more soaps available. So like everyone, I went out and bought every soap I could.
Let me guess, Tobs?
Yes, Tobs was one of one of the staples in mine. And then from there I started doing some YouTube videos. And then just one day it hit me, you know, maybe I should try making my own soap. So I started reading up on it, bought a small kit, and I actually started off making body soaps. And you know, I shared that out with the family, and they said, "Oh, you know, these are really good stuff." But I had every intention into moving straight into shaving soaps from there. So once I got the basics down from body soaps, I started mucking around with a few recipes. At that stage, I already knew Mark Gergers. So I would send some to Mark, and he.
Oh, you knew Mark?
I knew Mark previously,
right,
yeah. So he was doing some testing for me, coming back and forth. Then I met Paul. Paul started doing some testing for me as well. He then introduced me to Chris from Katie's Bubbles and also Douglas from PAA. And those guys were instrumental. So they didn't give me the keys to the car. So to say, but they guided me in the sense that you know, I was looking at a cold process. They told me, you know, maybe switch to a hot process and maybe look at this and that. So it took a lot of tweaking, and then finally, it kicked off. I think in September 2014.
Amazing,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So right off the bat, I remember the first time I tried your soap, and because you just came out of nowhere, and then people just started talking. Well, you knew the right people, I guess, right?
Yeah.
And I tried your soap, and I was just amazed how the lather exploded. And dare I say, and don't take this as offense to this, because this is actually a really good compliment.
Yeah.
But you know, the best of the best, I think, is Chris Cullen. You know, Katie's Bubbles soaps the performance is absolutely amazing, right? And I remember. The first time I lathered with your soap, it just reminded me so much like Katie's Bubbles, and that's I think the best compliment anyone can get.
Yeah.
And I was amazed because you're a new soap maker. At least I didn't hear about you. You could have been in business for 10 years, but to have that type of performance right from the get-go is really remarkable. And I mean, there's been people in the business for years and years and years and haven't come close to what you're able to do with your performance. Yeah, you have some great soaps.
Thank you.
Really pleased. And you've got actually some soaps here.
Yes.
Let's
talk about
let's talk about it.
Okay. Well, this is Movember. So I launched this soap for Movember specifically. And $5. What I am doing is donating $5 from purchase of every soap towards the Movember Foundation. But this has been going really well, and that would explain the the growth I've got happening here. But yeah, this is something really new. It's I've had people compare it to Arco, but it's not.
Yeah, but I don't think it smells like Arco.
No.
I smelled this the other day for the first time. This is like a much more. Listen, I know there's Arco lovers out there. I was never a big fan. This is a much more sophisticated version of Arco. I'm sure. This is really good soap.
Thank you.
Yeah, very nice. The lemon and the bergamot really come out.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. What else is there? So as I was saying, we just celebrated our 1 year anniversary in September this year. So in order to commemorate that, we came out with the first anniversary soap, original naming there. But yeah, this was something, I got inspired by this by Saponico, I can never say it, Saponico.
Veracina, yeah.
Yeah, the 75 anniversary.
Yeah. So you got 74 more.
74 years to go, fingers crossed. But yeah, I love the smell of that soap and wanted to come up with something similar, and this was the best I could come up with.
Really?
So, yeah.
Is this like an aquatic?
Yes, yeah, very, I hate referring to it as fresh, but it's a very fresh, light scent that would probably go well for the warmer days, but it's an all-rounder. I really enjoy it myself as well.
I haven't smelled this one. Let me take a... Oh, that is nice. that is really nice. Yeah, nice job. I like your labels too. Your labels have really progressed.
Thank you. There was a story. All credit goes to my wife, just in case she's watching. But we had the original blue tubs, but then unfortunately things are a lot different. So I don't know if I can touch on this as well. Compared to the States, the Artisan movement here in Australia is just a little bit harder. So I approached a few retail stores, asking them if they'd be interested in stocking our product. And some of the feedback I got back was it looked a bit amateurish.
Oh, really?
I think it's because we don't have that artisan market as you guys do in the States. It's well accepted, if it comes in a tub, you don't expect, quality labeling and stuff like that. Whereas the stores here, as soon as they saw it, they looked at it and like, so we decided to go for a whole new look, down to the lid on the inside, the labeling as well, just to make it a lot more presentable and catchy. But yeah, we've had a lot of positive feedback.
For those that don't know this, so it's actually a really good deal to buy your soaps.
Yes, yeah.
And really, specifically from, I know that there's resellers, we don't want to, they have all kinds of great soaps and they carry your soaps as well. Yes. But there's some financial advantages to actually buying it directly from Shaver Heaven. Yep. For me, because of the exchange rate. So I don't know what the rate is now, but it's like, I just purchased this today, and this goes for, I paid 129 AU, Australian dollars, and it came out to like $92 US. So there's a really nice, it's like a built-in discount for those that are interested. So it's, what is it, shaverheaven.com?
Yeah,
right?
shaverheaven.com.au. And we do ship direct to the US as well.
Yeah, I remember when you shipped to me, I was shocked at how quickly. I mean, actually, I received some, the last box that you sent, the order I made, sometimes that was faster than some of the stuff from local vendors. So that was pretty good. Actually, I'm not kidding. That was true.
But I think, as you say, with the exchange rate, it works out really well. And we've also got the Black Friday sale coming up.
What's that all about?
First ever. So we've never had any huge sales, so we decided to jump on board this year with the Black Friday sale, and we're offering 25% offline, 25% off all our products on our store.
Wow.
So I think roughly, what did I post? I think it works out to $32 US for any two soaps with the discount after the 25% off.
And that's delivered to the door?
32. Yeah.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
See, the exchange rate really works in our favor. Yeah. Maybe less so so when you have to when you buy American soaps from American Artisan soaps, it must cost a ton. Yeah. So what's next for Shaver Heaven?
We will look at probably cutting down some of this current lineup. I think somebody actually pointed out to us we've got 40 cents now on our lineup, which I wasn't even aware of myself. 40.
I didn't keep up with them.
Yeah, it's very difficult. So I think what we're doing now is looking at some of the ones that didn't take off too well, keep a select few, and then move on to what some of the artisans do, which is seasonal scents.
That makes sense.
It's a little bit different for us in the sense that, as you said, our main market is the US, and we've got AU as well. So I'll kind of be making one for us and one for the US as well. So we'll have maybe 2 seasonal soaps going at the one time. But I think that'll allow us to focus more on what we have and what we create instead of just going. I think it led to that scattergun approach. I think when I first started, so I wanted to appeal to as many people as possible. So, you know, for example, the Lodge, fresh cut wood. Someone may not like it. They'll like Movember. So I just went with that approach and ended up with 40 different soaps.
That's good. Well, that's good to figure out, you know, what works, maybe what doesn't.
Yeah.
And maybe bring it back another time. But what's working now? Do you find that it's a completely different market as far as tastes in sense? So the Aussies, you know, the Australian folks, your customers down here, versus the American market or the European market. Are they gravitating, or do they kind of gravitate towards the same soaps?
I think it's similar, but I noticed now as the US moves into, I think it's getting colder there now.
Well, it depends on where you are in the US.
Oh, okay, yeah.
In my neck of the woods, definitely.
Yeah, I've noticed orders coming through for scents that you would probably use, you know, on a cold day. So, for example, maple sugar and spiced pumpkin pie and warmer scents. Whereas here in Australia, things are heating up.
So more citrusy and
like
aquatic.
Yes, definitely. And that's what you just reminded me. I launching a new soap called Arctic Mango, which is our first soap to have menthol in it. Well, official. A few people got some under the radar, but yeah, it's our first official mentholated soap, and you know, I thought I'd stick to mango. It's something fresh from Australia as well. So yeah, and I
love the scent of mango.
Yeah,
nice.
I actually got inspired by Tim's Greek peach.
You know, I haven't tried that soap.
Very nice.
He's got the Busta soap. That's actually really nice. And is it Brendan? Is it Watley? Watley? I think Watley, right?
Yeah.
I met him the other day with Khan and with Gergis, and that's Khan Kazazidis. You know, I'm Greek, right? I think that's the first time I ever pronounced his last name. I just call him Khan. I can't even pronounce a Greek name. But anyway, we went out, and Brendan, I have a soap that he sent over to give to you. See, I was going to forget.
Thank you.
But he had a whole table full of soaps. And one was the spiced pumpkin, and there was some other soaps there. They're great. They smell wonderful.
Thank you.
Most of them were yours. Speaking of wonderful smelling soaps, so you know, you may have seen my video where my daughter, when we were on vacation, she picked your sweet almond milk.
Yes.
That's my wife's favorite. That's my daughter's favorite, along with the Fruit Loops soap from Katie's Butt. So she has very good taste, right? So, you know, I'm starting a business. Obviously, you know.
Yes.
And you made a soap for me.
Definitely.
And this today, actually 5 minutes ago, was the first time that I actually saw it. So this stuff is absolutely wonderful.
Thank you.
All right, so I came up with the name. It's Lait de Armand and Chocolat. So basically, what we've done, right? Sweet almond milk was probably our favorite soap that you made. It's actually Spice Mahogany I love, and Citrus Garden. There's a bunch of soaps, but that one I always go back to. And because it was my daughter's favorite, I wanted to do a take on that.
Yep.
And I thought, sweet almond milk. First I was thinking, all right, that sweet almond milk, what if we change it up a bit, with like a new twist to it, and maybe have it with a little bit of cocoa in there, a little bit of chocolate, something to just change it up. So it's become something different, but still familiar.
Yep.
And that's what we came up with. So it's really basically the sweet almond milk and chocolate. So you did a really nice job with this.
Thank you.
So I know you kind of mentioned we were like rushing to get this all together. We're meeting Paul Sardella for dinner. We're eating, I think, Vietnamese food tonight.
Yes, yeah.
Right? But tell me again about what you've done differently with this soap.
Okay, so I went back to scratch for the formulation. So the ingredients haven't actually changed. They're just slight ratio changes, which made it a little bit of a pain in the neck. So just for people that don't know, everything is done by hand, down to the labels being cut, stuck on, filling them up. There's no automation at all. Now, what this resulted in was a firmer soap, which was harder to pack in. So I actually had to do each one.
Oh yeah, yeah, it is firmer.
So I had to use a spoon to smooth them all out. But the I guess the plus out of it all is I actually used a sample of it last night, and I feel personally it's one of my slickest soaps to date. I tried it with the Badger and a synthetic as well, and it just lathers, and it's just thick and creamy and so slick.
Nice, nice. So that's for stray shavers. That's actually for any shaver.
Yeah.
Having a slick soap. I'll take slickness over just about anything else, because that's really what you need. You know, you need that slickness. And that added lubrication, but your soap's always lathered really exceptionally well.
Thank you.
But this stuff smells amazing.
Oh yeah, I can.
It does smell amazing. Yeah, you can smell it. And so you told me that the top note is the chocolate, which I'm getting.
Yeah.
But then it settles into that sweet almond milk.
Yeah, once you bloom it, so I tell a lot of the guys, if you're not doing it already, it's just to bloom it. That's just putting a little bit of hot water on the top and just allowing those oils and fragrance to come out. And then you can either use that as a pre-shave, which I do sometimes, just pour it out.
Yeah, I do that too. Yep.
Or just dump it out. But you'll find that the almond notes really come out once you start getting that heat to it and start lathering it up. It's really, really nice blend.
Nice. And I like the label too. We actually, we worked on this together. We were just PMing each other, and that was like an hour ago. And now we've got a label. I mean, it's amazing, a finished product. That's pretty cool, actually, isn't it?
I think that's a good side and a downside to me as well. So, like, you know how I was mentioning before, there's 40 fragrances, and I'll go to sleep sometimes into bed. I can't sleep, and then something will hit me in the middle of the night and go, I have to try that. Get up in the morning, do it, fall in love with it, and then by afternoon, introducing, bam, new soap. And I think it's because, you know, you've got all the stuff at home that you can do it yourself. So that's why, you know, I'll get these crazy ideas and just have it out almost immediately the same day. So it's a plus and a downside. You know, it just never stops growing.
You know, it's funny. It seems like soap makers don't sleep.
Yeah.
Right? Because Cullen, he doesn't sleep.
Yeah.
Right? And I know Douglas never sleeps. Right? And you never sleep.
It's a disease. I don't know.
I think that's so. Do you do all the cooking at night, or are you playing with different fragrances and see what oils mix together well and what works?
Yeah. We've got a house full of kids and another one on the way, as you know. So
that's right.
Yeah.
So he had last night.
Call,
you thought it was it.
Yeah.
So that's any second.
Yeah.
So we can get the. Actually, I heard the phone vibrate.
Yeah, so did I. I'm hoping it's not. She'll be all right. It would have kept calling. But yeah, we've got our fourth and final child coming. Any day now. We've been given, I think, the December 24th. But yeah.
Fourth child.
Yeah.
I have one. I mean, actually, she was really easy, right? But any child's work.
Yeah.
I don't know. How do you manage four?
Yeah.
All right. You need to sell a lot of soaps. Yeah. So people need to sell. That's right. That's a lot. That's a lot of college.
Yeah.
I'm worried about that with one child.
Yeah, a lot of people have said that. I've got one. How do you manage four?
Oh man, you're a busy man.
Oh, yeah.
So all right.
So I get to I kind of do the soap in a separate area, as I don't want the kids, you know, hanging around while I've got acid and stuff like that. But mixing the fragrances, you know, my daughter's turning 3, so she'll always, as soon as I was mixing yours up, she can smell like chocolate a mile off. So she's always around when I'm experimenting with fragrances and stuff. So I usually try to get that done and usually have them steeping, so it's not something you just mix up and then just go with it. You'll find that the fragrances sometimes mature over time. So I've got bottles that have been labelled and I just leave them there and see how they're going. And most of the soaping I try and do before the kids are in bed because it makes a lot of noise.
Right.
But I'm constantly doing something. If it's printing labels or, you know, updating stock on the website, it's like it never ends. And like, you get a lot of feedback from the community as well. It's just been fantastic. And a lot of the guys when they're saying, oh, you know, what's up? When's the new soap coming out? It's like, you know, I was thinking about doing something fresh, and I'll come up with stuff as well. And they're like, hey, how come you don't do one with rhubarb and something else? So it's like, you know what, that's a fantastic idea.
You know what? You know what?
Yeah.
This thing, listen, I've seen aka kapa.
Yeah.
I've seen it before, but I've never smelled it. This is the black pepper and sandalwood. Oh, this stuff you should do.
Yeah.
Okay, that could be the next soap. So anyway, so do you have a favorite soap, by the way?
I get asked that a lot. It's kind of hard, it's like saying, which oil do you like? But there are ones that I tend to gravitate more. I like, some of the woody scents. So like the Lodge, first anniversary. But I can't say, I don't know. Maybe Citrus Garden or Forbidden Forest. I think. Maybe because
Forbidden Forest is your fougere.
Yes, yeah. And they were my two main soaps that I launched with at the start. So I don't know if it's more of a, I have an attachment to it, but I just love those scents.
Khan.
Yeah.
We were out to dinner the other night. All he was talking about was Dragon Noir.
Yeah, that's another.
That's all he was talking about.
Yeah, that's another.
He said he thinks it might be his favorite soap of all time, or at least in the top 3.
Yeah,
that's saying a lot because that guy's probably shaved with about 300 soaps.
Yeah, that's one of our best sellers. We did that expo a while ago when we spoke.
When we were first talking about this all this stuff, right?
Yeah. And that was one of the top sellers. So you'd get people as soon as they'd come to have a smell, and I'd be like, "Here, smell this. This is one of our." They smell it and be like, "Yeah, I'll take one of them." So it's been one of our best-selling fragrances, and that was basically just our spin on Dragon Noir.
Which is a fougere as well.
Yeah.
Nice.
But I've actually had feedback of people saying, I actually prefer yours than the real stuff, and I'm like, oh, thank you. Yeah.
Really?
So it's close match, but not exact. Yeah.
Nice. Well, I guess that's about it. We have to meet up with Paul Sardella for dinner. So I can't tell you what a pleasure it is to work with you on this project.
You too.
This came about pretty quick, didn't it?
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll have more soaps out there.
Yeah.
Shaver Heaven soaps. And everyone, for those that you guys, and I'm really speaking from the bottom of my heart, if you haven't tried Shaver Heaven, you really, really owe it to yourself because the performance is really second to none. If you're a big Katie's Bubbles fan, everyone in America knows Katie's Bubbles and uses it. The performance is very, very, very similar. I mean, it's really very. The performance is just amazing. The way it lathers up and the slickness and everything about it is wonderful.
Yeah, and I think that's the one that I get compared to the most, even in the forums, like there's an Aussie forum as well, and I think someone referred to my soap as the Aussie version of Katie's Bubbles.
Yeah, so I mean, that really is meant to be a compliment. I can see how maybe it would bother somebody, because you want to be your own. But I think, actually, because I shouldn't have said that, because you are definitely your own, and you have your own, but it's meant to be a compliment for sure.
Thank you. Yeah, definitely. I think one good thing about the Artisans as well is that we're all just friends with each other. And I think as well from the Shave of the Days, I'm always using everyone else's stuff as well. Yeah. It's just fantastic.
He does the same thing, by the way.
Yeah.
In fact, you two are one of the only two, with few exceptions, that do that, which is nice.
Yeah.
So good. Well. Great to see you. I really appreciate you taking the time to do this
no problem.
This video. And it's great to see you guys, or talk to you guys. And maybe we'll do another Artisan Spotlight series again. I don't know when we're going to do it again. But let's see. I guess my next time I travel to someplace where there's an Artisan. I've been wanting to get on. I wanted to get... I think Irina would be fascinating.
Yeah.
Because she's been in this business a very, very, very long time. And she sent me a picture of her cabinet, or cabinets of all her different essential oils that she's got. It's amazing. So I really look forward to interviewing her someday. But anyway, all right, guys, thank you. Take care.
See ya.
All right, bye-bye.